Modern Family probablemente sea una de las comedias que más corazón tuvo de las que vimos en el último tiempo y duró casi que 12 años. En 2009 empezó, en 2020 terminó justito en el medio de la pandemia. Pude hablar con una de las guionistas que trabajó hacia el final de esta serie y que me contó cómo fue el proceso, cómo fue sumarse a una producción de la que ella se consideraba fan y cómo era el proceso creativo detrás de esta gran serie que nos dejó hace nada más que 2 años. Todo esto en este informe sobre Modern Family.
We now return to Mira Akien and Contre with our latest interview.
I knew that I was contributing to something that people love so much. So that was just a really cool feeling to feel like I was a part of this like legend, you know, because I got to join as a fan. I had toured the set as a fan before I got that job. And it was just sort of, it was sort of a magical experience. And I got to, you know, learn from these super seasoned writers and make friends. And yeah, it was a really trippy experience for me.
From the minute we get up at 7 till we drop them off at school, it is go, go, go.
I get up at 6.
I get up at 5.
Seriously.
So much of that show is built on the personal family stories of the writers that had been there since season 1. So when I joined, many of the writers had been there since the beginning or since season 2, and there were 14 other writers in addition to myself. So as you can imagine, like they had, you know, season 9, they had mined a lot of what they had to give. You know, they had told their funniest, weirdest stories, and obviously they're generating new stories every day because they're living their lives, but they certainly could use with a new person an infusion of, okay, tell us about why your family's crazy. And that's like a big part of your job, is to like tell, you know, pitch stories and figure out, okay, this is something that happened in real life. Who would this best be a story for? And you know, I was 30 years old at the time, so I was pitching a lot for like Haley and for Alex, you know, for those were the characters that I was closest in age to and could most relate to.
This navigation system's all messed up. It thinks we're in a park. Oh my God, it is a park! Away from the kids! Hey, for the lake!
Which character was like the most difficult to write, and which one was like everyone was pitching stories for that character? Who was like the favorite one?
I think, you know, I think Phil, because a lot of the writers saw themselves in him. A lot of the writers were dads around his age, and you know, they're creatives, so I'm sure there's a little bit of that dynamic of the Phil and Claire dynamic, where their wives might be a little more grounded than they are because they're off doing this, you know, in theory, unstable career, although they've all had very charmed career trajectories, obviously. So I feel like there was never a shortage of Phil stories. And it's also just such a fun character because there's just so much joy there.
I'm hip. I surf the web. I text. LOL. Laugh out loud. OMG. Oh my God. WTF. Why the face?
We would have a lot of trouble writing for Gloria. I think by the time I got there, there was not much more to be said about her relationship with Jay, and not a lot had been fleshed out about her life outside of Jay. So we tried, you know, a couple different storylines for her. I think at one point she like ends up going into real estate with Phil, but we were sort of saving that for the last season. So I think when I was there, she was just taking classes that Phil was teaching at the community college. But it was, you know, we were sort of digging for, okay, what's something we have yet to explore with her, because she is more of a blank slate than the others.
I made fun of his accent.
What accent?
I think that the most difficult part of any of this part of the process was like coming up with stories and making them surprising and making sure that you're balancing the hard comedy and also feeling something for these people and not making them into cartoons by just throwing like joke, and no one's tracking the story.
You're pregnant?
Yes. And we're really happy about it.
Why wouldn't you be? Wow.
One of your episodes was the first one that Julie directed, if I'm correct.
Yeah.
So how nervous was she? Like, with his
She was a total pro. No, if she was nervous, she didn't let on. I think because like there's a certain familiarity among that crew. So if she was gonna mess up, like the director of photography was right there to, you know, steer her on the right track, or either Steve Levitan or Chris Lloyd was Steve on my week, is right there. They all love each other. It's really sweet. And you could tell, like, if you follow them on Instagram now, they all meet up. And I saw like Jesse went on a daddy-daughter date with Aubrey to go like to the theater. Yeah, like I didn't notice any bickering or any snide remarks or anything that you might expect from people who are that wealthy.
Yeah.
People can change. That's what I believe, and I will till the day I die.
You do realize you're proving the exact opposite of your point.
See, she's changed. She used to be very supportive of me.
Who was, like, if you have to say, the one that was always joking, or like he or she can always like answer with like maybe a punchline?
Ty is really quick-witted, Ty Burrell, and and then I would say, I mean, all of them can hold their own, certainly, but I think he was the most, like, he and maybe Jesse, Tyler Ferguson, and Eric Stonestreet were like the most had improv front of mind when having conversations with people.
Wow.
If an accident does happen, I hope he kills me, because I don't think I would be a very inspiring disabled person.
We were supposed to be done season 10, or so we thought internally. And then, you know, the showrunners met with the network, and I think there was a feeling that there were some things left unsaid to do, you know, with the characters. So, and the network was willing to probably have them, you know, as long as they wanted.
Yeah.
But they ultimately decided to do 18 more episodes, season 11. So I was not there for season 11. I was there for 9 and 10. But even season 10, like, there was starting to be like, you know, at the table reads, like, people would give speeches when it was like, you know, their birthday. They would give speeches about like, you know, you guys are, you know, as much my family as, you know, anyone who's not blood related can be. And yeah, you know, we've been here 10 years. You guys mean the world to me. You've seen me, like the kids would say, like, you've seen me grow up. And it would get like emotional, because I think in the back of people's minds, it was like, this is not forever. And who knows if we'll ever have an experience like this again, where we have this stable job and we can work with people that we really respect and trust.
Yeah.
And that applies to like everyone on the crew, like, kind of felt that way.
Yeah, and they had to repeat that the other year.
Yeah, and then it was like,
I'm gonna set an example and be the first one to let go. It was awful.